Prophet of Truth has found the Ark. Our only chance of stopping him is a surprise aerial assault. Clear this sector of Covenant anti-air defenses. Make a hole for the Admiral's ships. Good hunting. He's out.
During the spring of '09, I picked up Halo 3 on the pretenses that it would be great, and boy was I right. I played it every day for a long time, whilst all of my friends went through the relevant Call of Duties at the time. I've gone from absolute noob to fairly competent player in my time of playing, and honestly it's the best game on the 360. I think anyway. I'll tell you why in a second. Let's start off with the campaign. Your Master Chief, John Sierra 117, defending humanity from the Flood and the Covenant. We start at the end of Halo 2, where Chief is dropping in from high charity, so to speak. In doing so, however, you've left Cortana behind. You need to rescue Cortana and save the galaxy. Can you? Of course you can. You're a big bloody supermarine in an armoured suit. Levels of varied vehicle sections, Covenant battle scenes and flood fights spread evenly throughout the campaign with some absolutely spectacular moments. One of my favourites among these is in the stage The Ark. The task is to get rid of all the wraiths from the surrounding area as the mongoose and rocket-wielding marine. You blow them up any way you want, and then boom, scarab. The only option is to destroy it by actually boarding the damn thing after disabling its legs. Also in the final level, where you're driving a warthog or a mongoose or a ghost, if you've got the iron skull on with 4 people on legendary, away from a wall of death, so to say, created by you actually activating the Halo rings. There are 4 difficulties: easy, normal, heroic and legendary. Don't bother with easy unless you're 10 years old or aren't very good at shooters. Heroic is where you want to be. It's challenging yet still a lot of fun. Legendary being only an option for die-hard fans wanting to prove their skill like I did. Compared to Halo 2, it's an absolute cakewalk. Compared to Halo Reach, it's like through the fire and flames on expert. Weapons, at least the human ones, are the standard common garden fare. We got mediocre pistol, the ever so popular assault rifle, the SMG, the shotgun, and a few others that will go into more detail. This game has the best sniper rifle in any FPS that I've ever played. 1v1 snipe only matches with my good friend Nick are ridiculously fun. Don't get me started on the battle rifle. That gun is the god of guns. 4 shots to kill if you get 3 body shots, then 1 final headshot, one-stop shop, competitive gaming. Sparking huge MLG matches back in the big days of 08 to 2010 when it's still on the circuit with players like Walshy and T-Squared. Its counterpart is the Covenant Carbine, which is a good substitute, but I'm not too fond of that weapon. Plasma and brute weapons are a bit more varied, ranging from classic needler and plasma pistol rifle, slightly more outcast brute biker and brute shot. Each of these weapons have their own little applications in multiplayer, and they can be used effectively at least one situation each. A new addition to Halo 3 in comparison to Halo 2 are the dual wieldable weapons. You can now use 2 of the small guns, be it a plasma pistol and an SMG, at the cost of losing your ability to throw your grenades. You can also have equipment to deploy, for example an energy drain, which drains the shields of anyone in the blast radius. Most of these can be used in the campaign, but not all are effective. Flare does absolutely nothing to dull the AI's senses. Big weapons such as huge Gatling guns can now be lifted off their stands and carried around like Team Fortress 2's Heavy. It makes you a huge target, but if you catch a group of enemies off guard, it's guaranteed double kill, or even a triple kill if you're good. The co-op campaign can be very fun, as it can make the harder difficulties much easier. There's a scoring option that you can turn on, which gives you points for each kill and a bit extra for a special kill, which can add a little bit of competitiveness to your gaming session. You can turn skulls on to make it harder. For example, a fog skull takes you away your radar. Doing this adds a multiplier to your scoring system. However, you have to actually find the skulls in the campaign levels before you turn them on, which adds to the metagame. There are achievements for getting a certain score on each level or 10 game score, so if you think you're good enough, go for it. Now, the next thing, 3 words: Road to Recon. Recon was a special armor type given to only Bungie employees, but eventually with the release of Halo 3 and then Halo 3 ODST, they made it available to everyone. The only way you could unlock it, however, was through some very difficult and arduous tasks. These were the Vidmaster achievements. They'd give you the satisfaction alone for getting them, as they would reward absolutely no gamer score. There were 7 of these, as Bungie was obsessed with the number 7, ranging from easy, getting 50 XP in multiplayer, to bloody hard, completing the final level on legendary 4-level co-op, while finishing the driving section at the end with 4 ghosts, which can only be found when doing this with the Iron Skull on, which brings you back to the last checkpoint if anyone dies. If you get all 7, you will go on Bungie's website, click a button to claim your prize, and well, unfortunately, since Bungie doesn't own Halo anymore, no new players can get Recon. So if you don't have it, you ain't getting it. Sorry. Now we're moving on to the meter review. The multiplayer. Oh my god, the multiplayer. Hands down the best multiplayer out of everything I've ever played. How can I describe the countless hours, above 1,000, that I've played in one paragraph? Well, I think I know. It's just Halo. There's no bells and whistles, sprint buttons, no armor abilities, no stupid loadouts. Just pure balanced Halo. If you want a weapon, you better go and find it on the map. Otherwise you're stuck with whatever you spawned with, which is normally a battle rifle, assault rifle, or a pistol. All players start out with the same weapon is the way it should be, as it means that there's no one who has an advantage straight off the bat, because they played more. Sure, if you get spawned straight next to the sniper rifle or the overshield, then you've got an advantage there, but it's an advantage that's obtainable to someone else after that object respawns in 90 seconds or so. Despite all of this, nowadays, to most it must seem limiting, but it's an absolutely huge, it had an absolutely huge scene back when it first came out. Clans were forming left and right, friends started talking about this instead of Call of Duty, and it would have been incredible if I'd joined the party that much sooner. I did, however, meet some fantastic friends from Halo 3, and we've had some brilliant moments, which I will now show to you.
Oh, that was next.
What? Sorry! Sit down with you. So short. He's one shot, James, he's one shot.
Oh my god!
I'm just watching with my little sniper, like, watching it unfold in the bubble shield, and then James goes running in for the kill. Hurrah, mate, hurrah.
Disconnect.
What a house fuck.
Oh,
Whoa, that was quick, you spawned so quick.
I didn't expect that to hit.
Wait.
Yeah.
Right, come on, James, give me your face to kill then. Thank you.
There you go.
How do you know it's going to come back up?
Oh, fuck off, James!
Oh, run out of bullets,
Fuck,
don't
I've
I?
got to kill you. Oh no, I tried to jump down,
Now, as
and
you
what
can see,
happens? I
I've had
jumped
a lot
down the
of
wrong
fun with
bit.
this game. I made some fantastic friends from it. During the good old days, there were hundreds and thousands of people playing at the same time, with a huge selection of playlists to choose from. You could decide to rise up the ranks and try to bring your highest skill up to a 50 in ranked playlists, such as Team Slayer, Lone Wolves, Team Snipers, etc., which regrettably I didn't do. I only got a 40 to get that sweet general rating. If not, you could go into social playlists, Social Slayer, Team Skirmish, Big Battle, etc., and my favourite, Action Sack. Action Sack, for me, beats them all. Action Sack has the most crazy great game types you could think of. Team Fiesta, in which you spawn with different weapons every time, or Tug of War, in which points were gained for killing the enemies but lost for dying. In Action Sack there was no reward for winning, 0 XP is given. It's all about the fun. However, some playlists, such as Action Sack, are dead, so you would need a party of 8 to revive it. In other playlists, you would only get 1 XP per win, which to some might seem a bit arse backwards, but it truly becomes impressive when you see someone like me who's got 1100 XP under the belt. I've seen people with a 6000 plus XP, which to me is a bit mind-boggling. It used to be double XP weekends where you get 2 XP for win. Yeah, 2. That's loads, isn't it? But hang on. What if you don't feel like playing a regular old game type and you want to change? Well, you don't have to. All of the game types are fully customizable. You can customize anything: starter weapons, respawn time, the weapons that are on the map, how high you can jump. You imagine it, it's probably there. You can make everyone invincible to everything except for a sniper headshot if you wanted to, or you can make everyone run at 5 times normal speed. Imagine that with Capture the Flag. There are some game types that are a bit more Halo specific, like VIP, where you can only score points by killing a VIP on the other team who is randomly selected at spawn, or Infection is another fun one, when one person is marked as infected and has to kill everyone else, turning them into the infected, which is great if you've got enough people, because it's a total blast. What if you don't like where the weapons or vehicles are spawned in your custom games? When you're in luck, pal, because the Forge mode is to the rescue. Forge mode is basically an interactive map maker. The only thing is you're just modifying the already made maps. There's one map that gives you a skybox to mess around with, which is absolutely incredible, and the amount of racetracks people have made through various tricks and glitches is amazing. Any item in the game which is not stuck to the floor that you can find is probably in Forge mode. You can put down these for a price, and then once you've run out of money you can't put down anything else. To move about in Forge mode you can either be normal Spartan, or you can be Flying Orb, that is 343 Guilty Spark. What was absolutely revolutionary at the time was the game's theatre mode. The fact in 2007 you were able to save the footage from your game and then fly around and see what anyone was doing is incredible. If you had a few amazing kills that you can go back and make a clip of them, saving it to your file share if you want people to see them, or maybe just to your system. You can have 100 different custom items saved at once, so this includes gameplay, game types and maps. You can take screenshots of your games, which lead to a very impressive photography scene, which led to absolutely incredible pictures being taken, all using the game's in-game effects, using equipment and weapon flair for the advantage. You used to be able to host your files up on Bungie.net and then download them onto your computer from there, but unfortunately, since the old Bungie website is no longer with us, that feature is, alas, retired. You'd have to use a capture code if you want to do that. So, after 3 pages of writing, I think I've summed up how impressive I think the game is. The campaign, fantastic. Multiplayer, flawless. Additional features such as Theatre and Forge, don't mind if I do. I do miss the huge community that Halo 3 once had. Halo 4 was a step in direction from the piece of shit that was Halo Reach, but it's still no Halo 3. But as long as I have my 2 friends Nick and Naz to play Halo with every so often, I'm happy. I'm not going to give the game a rating, I'm just going to tell you to buy it. It's only £2 in CX, so go on, treat yourself.
Damn it, Nick!